Y'all, I apologize for the stream ending. It was because of the VPN and Netflix. We're back live. So, on the other SmackDown watch party, we seen the segment between Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. We watched the terrible women's tag team match with B-Fab and Michin versus Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. Watched War Raiders versus Damian Priest and R-Truth for both titles that ended in DQ. I watched the Baron Corbin and Trick Williams segment, as well as the Ray Phoenix versus JD McDonough match, which was a banger of a fucking match. I mean, it wasn't that much of a banger because Dominic Mysterio interfered. And then we had Dan Algen coming out. It should have just been Ray Phoenix versus JD McDonough one-on-one. Should have just been those two going at it instead of interference. The only thing I didn't get to see was Julia versus Lash Legend and the main event, which was one last segment between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes before SmackDown went off the air. So let's go ahead and turn the VPN back on. If you're just now tuning in, welcome. I apologize for my stream ending. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if y'all are new. Everything full show. I want to SmackDown first full hour and the second half hour was largely boring. Of that segment with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn and the AA Cruiserweight Championship match between Ray Phoenix and JD McDonough. Those were the only solid things of the entire show. Everything else was boring and unwatchable. That's what I said on the other SmackDown watch party and results stream. I said it on there way before the stream had, way before Netflix and VPN somehow messed up my stream to where it ended because it kept on loading. Netflix stream kept loading and stuff. It kept freaking messing up. Please share the stream, y'all, and keep on supporting the channel. We do have 944 subs. We had got a new subscriber the other day. So we are close to 950. We're going to pick up where we left off here on this watch party plus results. I went over what I watched already and went over what I didn't watch. What I didn't see yet, which was the only two things I didn't get to see, which I'm about to. Let me go ahead and then pull Netflix up before I switch to a different server. Last time I'm trying this. Very, very last time I'm trying this. Don't forget, I'm going to go on the full break after the main event. I'm going to tweet out, as soon as I get to Julia versus Lash Legend, I'm going to tweet out my thoughts on the AA Cruiserweight Championship match. And then tweet out my thoughts on that in the main event. And then it's not going to be a while. It's not going to be a while once I go on full break. We got plenty of news to go over as well. So I'm going to try to get that in my notes as fast as I can. Because I need to go ahead and start working on these other thumbnails, start scheduling the AAA Verano de Escantalos Week 2 watch party and the SummerSlam Night 2 watch party and results. And once SummerSlam Night 1 ends, we'll have an idea of what's going to happen going into the Raw SummerSlam Fallout. or at least I'll explain what I think is going to happen anyway. Man, I was so when the VPN and Netflix messed up my stream because the SmackDown Netflix stream internationally was freaking loading, and I kept getting these errors. So I had to darn switch from different server to different server. Ugh, it was aggravating. SmackDown's not pulling up on this account either. Shit. Why is this thing acting strange? SummerSlam launches on here tomorrow. I want to have to wait. I have to freaking wait for SummerSlam to launch. Nope, SmackDown is not pulling any of these accounts. I think they done flattened my shit, man. I hate when they do that. But I believe I'm determined to make sure SummerSlam gets pulled up tomorrow. I am not playing about that. keeps doing this, man. SummerSlam ain't gonna be able. SummerSlam ain't gonna be able to pull up tomorrow. It keeps this up. Yeah. All right, we're back. We're back on it. I'm gonna try to reset this laptop. All right, I'm rewinding. I'm fast forward to where I was watching, to the part where I was watching SmackDown in the second hour. I watched the full first hour and a half of the second hour. That ain't the part. All right, I'm at the part where I'm about to watch Julia versus Lash Legend. Let's qualifier women's match. They probably didn't do that good. I bet. Got a video package showing Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins feud over the years. They just showed it ended. God, man, look at that fucking card for SummerSlam Night 2. Half of this card looks horrible. Here comes terrible Lash Legend. God, man, these theme songs that they give this talent, dude. Talking about this new talent. You get to see Julia come out to her theme. So I'm watching Julia versus Lash Legend in 101 to determine who will qualify in the last spot in the six women's interim ladders championship match. This was terrible. Julia got to barely do anything in this match. So this is how they've been burying Julia for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I don't know how you don't have Julia win over Lash Legend. Having Lash Legend win over Julia makes no sense. They just completely buried Julia in this match. This is like the fourth, fifth row she's been buried on SmackDown. This shit was fucking terrible. So we finally have this segment here. I do not think Cody Rhodes coming out. No, we ain't doing that tonight. We ain't doing that. Whoa! We ain't doing all that. Put an elbow in my face last week. That's where we're at. And watch me since I come up 20 years old, right? That's our friendship. We got to be real with you. You know what I'm talking about? Well, and you. And I saved you sometimes. He said you had to know that we were already on this path. No, no, he said we weren't running away from each other anymore. We were running towards each other, says Cody. He said it's great to be alive on Friday night in Green Bay, Wisconsin, or what? Sami Zayn talking like a bench player, talking like a starter, says CM Punk. Was I supposed to say no? These are bombs. I'm CM Punk. I get asked to show up for the title shot. I'm gonna show up. I hope people get angry about it, he says. This is what I do. It's what I've done for 20 plus years in this company. And 10 of them. I was gone, he says. He said, you see, you interrupted me, so let me ask you this question. Green Bay Johnson. He's going to say, what do you want to talk about? He said, this means that you are indeed the best in the world. That means that's the crown. You called the shots. Says Cody. Correct me if I'm wrong, because we done a lot of friends. I was tired of all the friends, right? You're the one who said you're not here to make wins. You're here to make money. He said I didn't come back to make friends. I didn't come back to lose friends. But if it comes to losing a friend or losing the title, tomorrow's not going to be your night, pal. The word tomorrow. He says the word tomorrow is bothering him. He said, I already asked Green Bay what you want to talk about. What do you want to do about it tonight? Yep, he's wearing all black. This is a sign that he's turning at SummerSlam. Oh, I can't wait this. I can't wait to see Cody finally turn heel. CM Punk and Cody going at it. Tomorrow just turned into tonight. Oh, Cody just sent CM Punk to the announce table. Uh-oh, Cody is taking the announce table apart. They're both still going at it. SummerSlam awaits. Okay, I got to see what I wanted to see, but it was not good, man. Good smack smile on my face. You see, didn't hear me the first time. The second, already skipping. SmackDown was in largely not a good SummerSlam go home show. It was the same way that Raw was this week. Garbage. So yeah, there's a reason why I have worst SummerSlam weekend ever if night one fails on my title for my WWE SummerSlam night one watch party results. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna step away. It won't take long. When I come back, go over my overall results, thoughts and grade. It'll probably just be my thoughts and grade. It won't be no results on the SmackDown SummerSlam Go Home show. Like I said, from watching this whole show, thumbs down. We're gonna talk about the rest of it when I come back. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. All right, folks, I'm back. Let's go ahead and go over my overall thoughts and grade on the entire Friday Night SmackDown SummerSlam 2026 Go Home Show. Now, don't be surprised when I say this about the show tonight. All right. So this show was an absolute disastrous, terrible way to go into SummerSlam weekend. I'm not going to lie. Started off actually good with the Finn Balor segment where he was talking about his match against Sami Zayn. But then Sami came out, cut a fire promo, blasting CM Punk for stealing the title from him. Then Gunther came out and attacked both of them. And then Nick Aldis had to come out and break up the brawl that was actually heat and set the tone. Then we got the baddies, Michin and B-Fab, with Jade Cargill beating Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green, which was just there to get to the Charlotte Flair brawl with Jade Cargill after the match. So this was whatever mid. This was very, very mid. This was a very, very, very terrible women's match on this show. Trust me, I watched the whole entire thing. I watched the whole show. I watched this entire match. From the beginning all the way to the end. So then we got Rey Fenix and Francium getting confronted by Jada McDonough and Dominic Mysterio, which set up the AAA Cruiserweight title match later, which honestly saved the show. I'm talking about the match between Rey Fenix and Jada McDonough. It was actually entertaining. First ever meeting Rey Fenix retained with that spinning muscle buster. Let me be honest with y'all. Chad, if anybody's listening, if anybody's in the live chat, because I haven't looked. This was way too much Dominique interference and all that Danhausen stuff. All that Danhausen stuff on this show just completely ruined it. It could have been B+ if it was clean. I gave it a low B-. And the random vignette with Tonga, Loa, and Haku. Or Tonga Tala, I mean. Honestly, that vignette with those two and Haku, this did absolutely nothing for me. I'm gonna be honest. It will be interesting to see Haku as their manager, though. Then we got that WWE Tag Team Championship match with Damian Priest and R-Truth versus AA Tag Team Champions, War Raiders, Ivar, and Eric. That in a damn no contest. Then God came out and attacked Priest. Truth and War Raiders after the match. Like, I don't even know what the point of this booking is. Both tag divisions are dead already, still. Like, we need to get the tag team division back going right now, man, because the tag team division on both brands have been absolutely dead for months and months and months. I don't know how they don't have I just don't understand. I don't understand what they're doing. Backstage, CM Punk interviewed saying he hopes Trick Williams becomes challenger because he wants new faces. Then we got the Nick Aldis career vignette ahead of his match versus Gunther, which was cool, I guess. Trick Williams called out Baron Corbin for a fight right now, and Corbin came out saying he leaned patience while he was gone from WWE, and he's going to cut off oxygen to Trick's brain and win the title. Like, okay, this shit was mean as hell. Is Corbin a heel or is he a babyface? WWE needs to make up their mind. One week he's a babyface, next week he's a heel. Or is he an anti-hero? Which is it? Honestly, the worst part of the night was the interim women's championship qualifier. Julia versus Lash Legend for the final ladder match spot at SummerSlam. Folks, Julia didn't even last 2 minutes. Bro, straight for real. Lash Legend won in a couple minutes to advance. Absolutely disgusting. Julia has the potential to be a top star if booked right. But Triple Fraud and his shitty creative team buried her, dude. Again, they don't give a fuck. And then you got this, and then you got one of my followers online, and before they blocked me, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to call that person out too. Where is it? So I tweeted out at 11:12 p.m. Julia didn't even get 2 minutes. Straight up buried. What the fuck is this booking? Crowd reaction told the whole story tonight. Lash versus Julia. And they made the wrong one look strong. Dode has no clue how to make real stars anymore. So I got a response saying from one of my followers before they blocked me, talking about some, did you watch the match? Julia was the one looking strong. I responded and said, bro, what match did you watch? Julia got 90 seconds, then pinned clean. Exactly what I said. And then I said, Lash advanced to SummerSlam. That's not looking strong. That's getting buried. The fuck? And then I just laughed my ass out over that comment. Then I was blocked. But that's okay. I'm going to call this account out on Twitter X. You better believe that. Whether it's putting them on blast or calling them out for their stupidity blocking. Just because I was telling the truth and knew more than what I was saying. Just because I know more than what's going on than this account does. I believe these Dode positive accounts that's defending Dode are brainwashed. Clearly, the product has been terrible lately. I mean, I don't think they even care to see or realize. They don't care like I do, like people like me do. They don't. And I think that's the problem with people like that. Anyways, moving on to the main event. We had Cody Rhodes and CM Punk face to face before their undisputed WWE title match at SummerSlam. Cody said part of their 20-year friendship is he knows Punk and sees through him. Punk was telling about ruffling feathers for 20 years, whether he was signed or not. And if he asked to show up to challenge for a title, he'll do it. Cody said Punk said he didn't come to make friends, but to make money. That Punk laid down his belt, took off his jacket, put his friendship bracelets in his pocket. He squared up. Cody took off his jacket to... He took off his jacket too, pretty much. And then they brawled on the outside. Dragged each other on the announce desk, throwing right hands. Officials had to run in and separate them like 3 times, literally. Then they kept brawling as the show went off the air. That ending was mid-average. To me, in my eyes, it was mid-average, C+, at best. Mid-average or not, this was not a good way to end a go-home show. No real hype for SummerSlam tomorrow. This was a terrible average D+ show outside of Finn Balor, Sami Zayn opening segment, and the Rey Fenix versus JD McDonough AAA Cruiserweight Championship match. Dude, this whole show was fucking awful. Literally. So let's go ahead and move on to some WWE news, and then I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to get off of here and bitch in this account and call this account out because I don't think that's right for them to block me because they claimed that Julia wasn't buried, that Julia came out in this match strong. Clearly she didn't. Clearly that's a whole damn lie. See, this account didn't watch the Julia versus Lash Legend match like I did. Yeah, despite the stream ending, I still had the guts to start another stream back up and get back to watching the show. Julia was definitely buried, folks. She barely got to do anything in this match. Yeah, this account got the nerve to say Julia was the one looking strong. Clearly, it was Lash Legend that looked strong, but the match was fucking terrible. Let me screenshot this shit. I'm about to screenshot this. Oh, you better believe I'm screenshotting this. Wait. I do have a little bit of WWE news. I don't have a lot. So apparently, WWE ID talent Veronica Heaven confirmed her departure from the ID program. Now, what I think honestly is next for Veronica Heaven after leaving WWE ID is honestly bigger than WWE ID if she plays it right. So let's go ahead and talk about what I think is next for her. So she's only 22 years old with less than 3 years in the business. And she already got to say she trained at the WWE Performance Center, wrestled on WWE Evolve, wore the WWE logo, worked with WWE coaches. That's more than most indie wrestlers get in 10 years. So now that she's out of the program, she's free. That's the biggest thing. I think she's about to bet on herself on the indies again. But with way more eyes on her now, she already has the WWE ID tag to her name, so promoters are gonna book her. She's young, she can work, she has that look, and she said herself she wants to keep growing as a performer, not just a wrestler. She mentioned songwriting and acting too, which is smart because at 22 she has time to build her brand outside just wrestling. Realistically, I see her doing maybe the GCW, TNA, maybe MLW, DEFY, or maybe Prestige type circuit, building her name as failing great or Veronica Heaven again, getting reaps everywhere, improving in the ring. In like a year or two, she'll either get looked at by AEW, TNA full time, or WWE signs her back, comes back around for her when she's more polished. This isn't the end for her at all. To those of you that think it is, it's not. It's literally just the next chapter, like she said. She said, "You don't need wings to keep flying when your heart refuses to quit." She's going to be fine. Honestly, if I was her, I'd go all in on content too. TikTok, Instagram, Reels of her singing, wrestling, YouTube, vlogs. Get that crossover audience because WWE ID already gave her a little bit of a platform. So she's super young, tons of room to grow. This is not the end for her. So that's what I think is next for Veronica Heaven after leaving WWE ID. And that's that. So see what else do I have here? Oh, there's some news on Roman Reigns, folks. Let me see if my audio worked. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, we good. It works. We're good. So there's some news on Roman Reigns' WWE schedule after SummerSlam 2026 revealed. This was obviously yesterday. WWE promoted the dates with a new See the OTC live graphic featuring Reigns and told viewers they would have several chances to see him in person. Acknowledge your OTC Roman Reigns live in a city near you. End quote. That's what it says. Roman Reigns is scheduled to appear at SummerSlam in Minneapolis on Sunday, August the 2nd. Obviously, we all know that because I'll be live for the SummerSlam watch party for night two. Today, I'll be live for the SummerSlam watch party for night one. He will then make a quick turnaround for the August 3rd episode of WWE Raw in Iowa, or Iowa, excuse me, Iowa. His announced schedule also includes Raw in Buffalo, New York on August 17th, followed by a Friday, August 28th appearance in Cleveland, Ohio. WWE's graphic included both Raw and SmackDown branding for the Cleveland date. Roman Reigns will then head outside the U.S. for Raw in Mexico City on September the 14th. His October schedule currently includes Raw in St. Louis on October the 5th and WWE Money in the Bank in New Orleans on October the 10th. So Reigns has worked a reduced schedule for years. So WWE advertising him for multiple television shows and a major premium live event gives a much clearer picture of how often he will be around after SummerSlam. More dates could still be added. But the OTC already has a busy stretch lined up through the fall. What do I think Roman Reigns? What do I think WWE has planned for Roman Reigns after SummerSlam? Ooh, I don't want to say this is kind of a tough one, but honestly, I think it's gonna be him focusing on Survivor Series. So Survivor Series takes place in Houston. We're gonna explain the good and the bad coming out of this too, because there's definitely some good and bad coming out of this. 1000%. Okay. Here's the good part. Roman Reigns is clearly going to be back on a more consistent schedule after SummerSlam, which we need. Okay. Here's the other good parts about it. Reports are saying that he's advertised for a bunch of SmackDowns in August and September. Not sure why he would be on SmackDown, but that's what I heard anyway. That's what I saw on Twitter X. That's what I heard. That's what I read from an article too that said that. But plus that big international tour and the next PLE after SummerSlam, that tells me WWE finally realized you can't have your biggest star going for 6 months at a time anymore, especially with Cody, Punk, Gunther, Jacob, all those guys needing that role. maybe after SummerSlam, win or loss, Roman is going into a program with either maybe Fatu or Braun Breaker, or even well, he's already having a match with Seth Rollins, so I can't see him continuing his feud with Seth Rollins. But we done seen that so many times now. Whoever he feuds with, it's going to be a feud that maybe that could possibly carry into Survivor Series and build to that would be fun. And Roman working more dates means more tribal chief aura back. Now here's the bad about this. The schedule looks part-time again. As hell. Like for real, it does. He's advertised, but it's like 2 SmackDowns a month, then gone again. Still Hollywood schedule because of his movie stuff. So I guess he's gonna get Roman pops up. I guess they're gonna get Roman pop up. I guess cut a 15-minute promo, leaves, doesn't wrestle on TV for weeks, and if he loses at SummerSlam, what's the plan then? Another 3 month hiatus? I mean, that's what killed his momentum last time. I think WWE honestly needs to commit to Roman being there week to week if he's going to be in a top program. He needs to be defending the title every week too, like CM Punk. He needs to be a fighting champion at least. Not this appear once in a month stuff. We are getting tired of that. Hell, he might as well drop the title to Seth Rollins since he's going to be out. Just saying. It don't make no sense for him to retain and then be out again. But overall, I think post SummerSlam, Roman will be in a big title or non-title. Maybe I really don't. We really don't want to. We really don't need to see this because we've been seeing this. We already seen this Bloodline Civil War stuff for 6 years, and I hate for them to have to go with this shit again. People are going to be bored out of their fucking mind seeing this on TV. I'm telling you, it doesn't need to happen. There needs to be something new. It needs to be something new going into SummerSlam, at least way before SummerSlam. But I have a bad feeling that it's going to be a non-big title or non-title Bloodline Civil War program leading into SummerSlam War Games because it is taking place in Houston and it is in November. So, you know what WWE is probably going to do? They're probably going to protect him with that limited schedule, which is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good for his health, but if he shows up on SmackDown in August and September, that's going to be bad for the SmackDown ratings long term. And if he shows up on Raw, or if he shows up on Raw again in August and September, it's still going to be bad for the Raw ratings. I mean, don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns is one of my favorites of all time, but I just think him being on both brands is just bringing down the ratings, man. We need some new stuff. Like I said, we need new, fresh matches and fresh stories, man. We need better creative writing and booking. We're not seeing that on either brand. Like I said, Triple Fraud and his administration and his creative team doesn't care. They don't care. They only care about what they want. They only care about how they want their creative booking and writing instead of how we as fans want their creative booking and writing to be. And how we want the shows to be booked and run. One thing's for sure: Triple Fine and his administration and creative team are not good at their jobs at all. And you know what? I know I'm not the only one that said this, but they all should be fired. I mean, they all need to get fired. Dude. They really brought WWE down the mud. Like, really. They brought WWE down the mud so much so that half of the people in the internet wrestling community don't even know or realize, or just don't care to see the reality of it. Anyways, I thought I'd get that news out because I know some of y'all probably want to. Some of you Roman fans probably want to hear about his schedule and what's going on. So, and you know I'm a Roman fan myself, but I don't like when he gets booked like shit. When he gets put off TV and he's not defending the title. Like the title. Honestly, folks, I think I'm going to stop it right there. There are two more things I want to mention. There was something that Triple H said on Busted Open Radio that had me quote tweeting. And I was definitely against him and his administration on what he said. Also, several people within WWE Creative were feeling increased pressure following Raw this week. Then the sources said the show carried extra weight internally with Netflix exclusives in attendance. I wonder why. You know what I quote tweeted and said the other day? Pressure was on with Netflix there. And this what y'all pull out? Danhausen and Henry over real talent is why Raw is trash. Why Raw's been trashed the last 2 weeks. Fire creative. That was my quote tweet response to that tweet by Wrestle Purists. This was from the WrestleVotes radio on Fightful Select, by the way. And then another thing that caught my eye was that there was this news article I seen on Triple H wanting viewers to stop blaming the writers when a wrestler gets heat. I'm looking at this and I'm just like, man, this guy is something else, man. Is he hot? I mean, is Triple H generally hot? Like, really? Like, I really want to know. What in the world is going on in the head of Triple H? I really want to know what's going on. Why can't he just admit that his administration and creative is complete shit? Why can't he focusing on giving the fans continuing to doing nothing but pushing more and more WWE fans away from watching this god awful product, this godforsaken WWE. It is legitimately doing nothing but pushing the talent away from watching this godforsaken piece of shit company. Nothing more, nothing less. It is legitimately doing nothing. It is downright awful. It really is. We're going to go over what he actually said on Busted Open Radio. This should be the last piece of news I go over because I got something to say about this. I got a lot to say about this. I can't understand why they haven't removed Bruce or Michael Hayes yet. So you mean tell me these guys still have a job, and yet Aleister Black and Kyrie Sane don't? These guys get to still be in WWE. Meanwhile, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Jordan Grace is sitting in catering, and Julia's getting fucking booked like shit, buried. Mean tell me they get to keep their job. Meanwhile, Braun Breaker doesn't get put on the SummerSlam card. I mean, make sure it makes sense, like really. So, Triple H has one major problem with the way some viewers watch WWE these days. Yes, us fans, us wrestling YouTube content creators get angry at the writers instead of the wrestler standing in front of them. That's because it's not the talent. It's Triple H, Triple Fraud. It's you, your administration, and your shit creative team. It's you not giving us better shows. It's you not wanting to improve the creative writing and booking. That's the problem. There's no story coming out of these shows, no excitement, no hype. That doesn't give anybody a reason to care. What gives people reason to care is better creative booking and writing, better storytelling, better booking, a better roster with talent that have great movesets and great gimmicks that actually make sense, that will actually get them over. Talent that actually know how to cut promos, like Grayson Waller. Man, what a banger of a fucking promo he cut on NXT this week. I had to applaud him for that, like really. That men's division on NXT needs to wake the fuck up, for real. And it's not their fault, dude. It's NXT creative and their booking. It's the way they're booking the NXT men's talent. Ain't their fault. Just think, Vince McMahon was still, despite Vince McMahon being in control of WWE, it was still terrible with him running WWE. It was terrible with him running WWE then, and it's terrible with Triple H running WWE now. Still. Yeah, Chief Content Officer. Yeah, right. Sure. You know, speaking of Vince, it got me questioning whether Vince McMahon is actually writing the shows and booking the shows. I mean, goodness, man. Something got me going on. Somebody's got to be writing these terrible shows, man. But anyways, during his appearance on Busted Open Radio, Triple H admitted that wrestling audience are more aware of the creative process than ever before. Oh, really? Viewers know storylines are written, matches are planned, and performers are playing characters. But he believes that knowledge sometimes kills the emotional reaction WWE is trying to create. Triple H said he loves passion. He loves passionate responses. Whether WWE is doing something viewers enjoy or something that makes them furious. He says, and I quote, yeah, look, whether we're doing something right or we're doing something wrong. I love that passion. I love it. It's amazing. They're not always going to agree with everything that happens. The problem comes when a heel does something designed to make the audience angry, and the intimidated response becomes criticism of the book. Triple H would rather viewers direct that anger toward the character responsible for what happened. I wish sometimes we could put that passion into the talent now. Sorry, I had to stop because I got a notification. I had got a like, somebody had commented on my tweet. As opposed to, and it's like when somebody gets heat in our business, it's gone. Why would they write that way? Triple H explained that the desired reaction is not for people to dissect the creative decision. He wants viewers to look at the wrestler and become angry at the person within the story. As opposed to that no good piece of crap, right, did this. The WWE executive admitted that the business cannot turn back the clock completely. Backstage documentaries, podcasts, and social media have made the inner workings of wrestling easier to understand, but he still believes there's value in temporarily forget how the show is made. I wonder if Triple H is having problems with his ears, because it looks like every time I see him on a Busted Open radio show or on TV, it looks like he's wearing hearing aids, like he's lost both hearings on both of his ears. I hope he's not deaf, man. I hope that. I hope not, because if he is that, then I don't know, man. But every time we see him, he looks like he's wearing hearing aids on his ears. And what it looks like. He got his hair cut and stuff. We see that. But anyways, I wish people, he says, they said, and I quote, I wish people could buy into sometimes. There's something to saying that innocence of not knowing, and it's still real to me. Damn it, but it is what it is. And quote, Triple H knows viewers understand that WWE is scripted. He just wants them to stop thinking like critics for a few minutes and allow the wrestlers to pull them into the fight. Now, should WWE viewers blame the character when something happens on TV, or is criticizing the booking simply part of modern wrestling? The answer for me is 1000% yes. Yes, I'm blaming the writing. I'm blaming Triple H. The whole interview is basically triple fraud trying to deflect because he knows his creative team been god awful since the Netflix move. You cannot tell me or convince me, don't blame the writers. Give me a break, man. Blame the character when the character is doing corny script promos. You write for them. Losing every week, then getting pushed over timers or over full timers like Mello, Ilya Dragunov, Braun Breaker, who actually work. Come on, man. We ain't stupid. He doesn't work no more because the booking is trash. The booking on Raw and SmackDown is trash. I'm talking about the main roster shows. Evolve's been mid lately. Meanwhile, some weeks NXT is solid, other weeks is mid. AAA, they have their problems with their shows too, but their shows has still been the best show of this entire year. Almost every week their shows are solid. Their booking, creative, and writing's on point. But there was a tiny bit of weeks where I had to call them out too. Well, I had to say something about this show too a little bit. But so far, they've been doing really, really solid with their shows. I'm liking their shows, man. I'm liking their shows better than I'm liking Raw and SmackDown and Evolve. Hell, might as well say NXT is right behind them. Might as well say NXT surpasses Raw at this fucking point. Holy shit, man. Might as well say that now. We ain't in the 80s, folks, where it's still real to me. Damn it. You literally gave us WWE Unreal. You show us the writer's room. You show us Triple H and Gorilla. Then you get mad. We know it's writers. Like, seriously, make it make sense. Viewers ain't stupid, man. When you greenlight Danhausen and Joe Henry as one of the worst segments on Raw history on the night Netflix execs are there with extra pressure, that's not that no good piece of crap did this. That's simply your team wrote that garbage. That lame trash. When WrestleMania 42 was more ads than matches and SummerSlam build, then even worse. That's not character work. That's creative. Triple H wants us to boo the heel like it's freaking 1998. But he books heels to look weak, man. That's no. You can't do shit like that, man. I don't care who you are. You can't. I don't care who running that damn company. You can't do stuff like that, man. Make heels look weak. Make them look like fucking losers and embarrassments on TV. No. And then you cut their promos to PG shit and then put celebrities over them. Oh my God, man. Why would they write it that way? Because why would you write it that way? The entire team at this point needs to be fired. This is exactly why I've been saying shows as we speak are fucking awful. Like SmackDown was last night. I mean, what a stupid, pathetic response from Triple Fraud, man. Flat out. You gotta be a fucking delusional dumb fuck to be blaming the fans for having your fucking trash writing. Wow. We all know that SummerSlam is probably going to end up worse than this year's WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 42, by the way. Worse than this year and last year's WrestleMania, actually. Holy shit, man. Summer Scam is definitely going to get less wrestling and more commercials. Like one of my followers said, dude. WrestleMania 42 is going to be straight up Summer Scam 2.0 in Vegas. And this is one of the many reasons why I say, and why many of my Twitter X followers have been saying for years, that this creative has to change now. It's going to get worse and worse and worse every fucking week if they don't change it. They're going to lose more and more and more audience. They're going to start requesting for their fucking release because of how they're getting poorly booked and the shitty gimmick and movesets that they're being given. Going out here to be given shit promos. You know what I'm saying? It's mainly them just not getting booked right and getting kept in Titus catering. They not having no plans for them. That's what makes talent ask for their release. Right there. And them not getting enough TV time. Like I said, the Unreal show showed us exactly why creative has been terrible. Script promos, same 5 fucking match recycles. Soul's Ghost Reign. Dude, Soul lasted 57 days as Intercontinental Champion, only for it to be ended by Raquel Rodriguez. This shit needs a full overhaul before SummerSlam, man, not after. I'm telling you. This is just disgusting. Absolutely no disgusting. And I can see exactly why my follower has no hopes for things to get better going into Saudi Mania next year. And I literally have been saying for months and months now that WrestleMania 43 needs to be in New York, not Saudi. Want to know why? Because of the Middle Eastern conflict. It's too heavy right now. Plus, Saudi Mania is going to be all nothing but stupid fucking commercial breaks anyway. What good does that freaking do? PR like WrestleMania 42? Oh. Cut it. They need to cut it for real. Bring it back to Madison Square Garden, where it belongs. Plus, it's safer there than it is in Saudi right now. Or hell, it should have been fucking either that or have it take place in New Orleans. Shit. Either New York, New Orleans, or London. Those are all better options than Saudi Man. I just explained why. I'm not repeating. And one of my followers was telling the truth when they said this. They even said Australian WrestleMania would have absolutely been 50 times better than Saudi Mania. That right there, I absolutely agree. I think it would have gone crazy, man. It would have been 50,000 times better. Because we all know all the country WWE fans sound better than the American fan. We know that. Well, better than our American fan anyway. But yes, New York, New Orleans, London, Australia, and all safer, man, would actually feed the fans, dude. WWE absolutely fumbled the WrestleMania 43 location big time. An absolute fumble. An absolute fail. Anyways, folks, I'm going to get the hell out of here, man. I'm about to tweet out and call this account out because clearly this account is blinded and delusional as hell and doesn't want to believe that Julia was buried in that qualifier match against Lash Legend when she clearly was. We all saw it. My followers saw it. My supporters saw it. I saw it. We all saw it. We all saw how buried Julia was in this match. We all saw how WWE poorly booked her, how she was poorly used. It was so bad, they didn't even let her come out. They didn't even show the part where we didn't get to see her come out to her theme, bro. They did the same thing with Rusev on Raw in this match against Javon Evans. You tell me they don't care. No, they don't. No hype or no excitement going into both nights, man. I'm telling you now, if SummerSlam night 1 fails, SummerSlam night 2 has absolutely no fucking hope. None. No. That point, might as well say that pay-per-view, that POE is going to fail too. Thank y'all for tuning in, being here, for listening to what I had to say and going over my overall thoughts and grade on the entire SmackDown SummerSlam Go Home show. Don't forget to share the stream. Keep on supporting the channel. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you do. Everything helps the algorithm here, man. I don't know if I said it right, but yes, I will be live for SummerSlam Night 1. I will also be live for Verano de Escantalo Week 2. Oh, if you think for 1 second that I ain't missing that, shh. Motherfucker, who you telling? I ain't missing my Mexican wrestling, man. I ain't missing AAA. I'm gonna be live for that show. Best believe that. I gotta get these thumbnails started, man. So before I go to bed, I want to at least schedule one of the watch along. Now, if I don't get sleepy and I stay up longer, then I'll be able to work on the thumbnail and schedule the last watch along for the weekend, which will be SummerSlam night 2. Well, Saturday night's going to end it with AA Verano de Escantalo Week 2. And then Sunday is a new week. So we'll be starting off the week next week with a SummerSlam Night 2 watch along. And then we got the Monday Night Raw SummerSlam Go Home show to look forward to. And then we got NXT. And then a Pokemon Horizons watch party this time. I'm gonna do it this time. The reason why I didn't do it this week was because I needed to start working on thumbnail and start scheduling my other watch alongs, which I hadn't even got started doing. If I don't get to do it, this morning, I'm gonna do it before SummerSlam night 1. I'm gonna try to stay up a little bit more because I did sleep a lot yesterday, and I felt like I oversleep too because I was feeling some certain way yesterday. Anyways, I'm out of here. See y'all live for SummerSlam night 1. Make sure y'all share the stream for that watch party. Let's get as much people as we can in the live chat for that. Because you know I'm going to be commentating and live reacting big time. Adios. I'm out.